Hi, Greg. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show on a rather cold Saturday, but hey, things are warming up in the New York, New Jersey area. My name is Lou Tenor, of course, as you probably know by now, and I'll be here until just about 6 o'clock when Rizal McKee takes over his fine show. And don't forget, Kevin Nixon, Monday is now back from 7 to 9 Eastern Time. Don't forget the number is 512-543-4662. Again, 512-543-4662. Don't forget, check us on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and don't forget to like our page as well. All right, thanks. So it's been a pretty interesting week in the sports world. I'm gonna bring my crew in right here, or the beginning of it. Steve Davidson, and happy early birthday, by the way. I didn't want to forget that. Hey, all right, Greg. All right. See, I always wait for the introduction, then I bring everybody in. And last but not least, my better half. Speaking of Obadiah, I think your signal's fading out a bit. That's better. That's better. I think it was my point. Okay, loud and clear. I know I could. All right, so I was thinking about where to go today, and as much as it's a little bit disappointing, I think I'm gonna start off with the finals of the Nations Four tournament that occurred on Thursday. It was a doozy, but didn't go as I wanted to, if you know what I mean, of course. Um, no, Greg. Once I bring you in, it's okay. I just do the introductions, then I bring everybody in. So no need to keep pressing star 69 twice or star whatever it is. All right. So we'll begin with that. Right. My mistake. I'm just old fashioned. So anywho, on Thursday night, I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was probably one of the best hockey games I think you can probably have without going for a Stanley Cup. U.S. and Canada were in a battle all throughout. But in the end, it was Canada who, of course, reigned supreme as usual. And we haven't won anything against Canada now since 1996 when we won the World Cup. So Canada defeated the U.S. in the Nations Four face-off on Thursday night. Pretty tight all the way through. Was tied at the end of one, then tied at the end of two as we had a 2-1 lead going into the late stage of the second, and then Canada tied up unfortunately. No scoring in the third, so it was going to set up then sitting for overtime. And what I thought was going to be a long battle, being a championship game against two powerhouses, you know, of course they're very careful and they're known not to make a mistake. But the first one I say the first one to flinch loses, and unfortunately that was us. And Connor McDavid, the golden boy of Canada hockey, scored the game-winning goal 8 minutes into overtime off of Connor Connor Hellebuck for that 3-2 win. Oh boy. And this was kind of like redemption for Canada after we beat them last week in group play over a 3-1 win. So naturally, you thought, okay, they have the upper hand, and maybe we were going to pull up the upset. But uh, the U.S. was looking a little bit, fragile because they had injuries, especially both of the Chuck brothers, and and a few others. So I thought, yeah, they're looking kind of vulnerable, and how are they going to pull this out? I was thinking this could be an ugly loss for the U.S. Luckily, it turned to be closer than I thought it would because I just thought, Canada had the upper hand here health wise, and I thought they were just going to just roll right past us, especially after we lost to Sweden in a blowout on Monday. So, yeah, go ahead. Were you trying to say something, Steve? Greg, it was you. It was you. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little while. We'll get to that in a little while. But was I was thinking, with them having, more managed health wise, I thought it was gonna be more of a blowout. Luckily, it didn't turn out that way. But as I've always said, a win is a win and a loss is a loss. And unfortunately, it came out to be a loss for us. Yeah, and McDavid, of course, well, so I know it was a quick tournament and it was not a gold medal or anything like that, but however, it means so much to us that McDavid after the game. Yes, of course. I mean, 'cause it is for pride for your country, and it's important whether it's Olympics or a competition like this. There is so much momentum, and you're like, well, I can't say world champ, but a champion of hockey. In other words, the world hockey will be in the coming years. And he said it was very special. Yes, it was very special, and it was very special for all of us because anybody who was a hockey fan, was watching that game. Almost 11 million people tuned in to see that game on Thursday night, and I was one of them. The highly anticipated tournament went to overtime. Both teams traded goals in the first and second period. Nate McKinnon opened up the scoring at 4:38. It's a day right there when he scores. It was the fourth goal in the tournament. And American Brady Tkachuk, who did play, wound up with an assist later in the period. They took the lead midway through the second period on a goal by Jake Sanderson. But Bruins forward Sam Bennett tied it for Canada with a wrist shot from Mitch Marner. Okay. Well, we know how dangerous he is with Boston, so that's not a surprise right there. And McKinnon won the MVP for the tournament. Go figure that out. And if everybody's wondering what happened in the All Star game, well, that replaced it. And not for nothing, but I thought the tournament was very, very exciting. Because I know a lot of people don't really pay attention to the All Star game and much of the hockey regular season. But this was far more entertaining than like the NBA All Star Game or the Pro Bowl or whatnot. I mean, this it lived up to its potential, and I'm glad they did this, even though it was only like a four nation team. But that's because these are the four best of the best. You know, U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland. Yeah, we could throw in Russian too, but for obvious reasons, we're not going to go into that knowing their problems right now. But overall, this was a very fine tournament, and it serves as a tune-up for the Olympics next year. So, did anybody actually see the game on Thursday night? Because it was one for hockey fans that was certainly not to miss. Yes. Yeah. And if you're still a hockey fan, why not? That's what I can. That's what I can tell. Mike, any thoughts? Yeah. All right, Diane, any thoughts? Yeah. All right. So where do you think this will put us in the next year when we go to the Olympics? Because we are going, of course. So I think it's going to put us in a good spot. It's going to be, of course, a lot tougher. You have group play. You got four teams in each division. We're going to call it. Um, U.S. against like a like they all mix it up anyway. It's U.S., Canada, Russia, and whatever in one group, and Finland, Sweden, and there's another, et cetera, et cetera. So where do you think this will put us in for next year's Olympics? Steve, any questions on that? Should be. I hope so. Uh, Mike, Mike, your thoughts? Well, hold on. Well, now hold on a second. Hold on a second. We don't know exactly what players are going next year. I mean, that's going to be determined, more like towards like I think like November or December. I mean, we are going. We just know what players are going to go yet. But the NHL players are going to be used, and I think they're going to use NHL rules. I am too. I would love to see that. By the way, this also I know it's a little bit early to discuss this. You could, it's we do it this week in history later, but this was the day that the U.S. beat Finland for the gold medal in the 1980 Olympics. I know Diane would not remember that because she wasn't born yet, but I think Steve and Mike would remember that as much as I do. At least I hope you do. Like Rusioni. By the way, he was in attendance at that game Thursday night, so I thought it was going to be a good omen. Captain of the U.S. Olympic hockey team, and he was in attendance at the game Thursday night. So I thought maybe that would have been a good omen. Well, it was great to have him there, even though we didn't come up with the win. But you get the idea. Mm. Ugh, so close and yet so far. Would you like me to go into chorus of Carol King so far away? I no, don't go there. Doesn't even stay place anymore. No, never mind. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, it's a great effort though, by any means. But I will like to see him get at least one more gold medal. You know, in our lifetime. Is that too much to ask? Anyone still there? Okay. Yeah, speak up. Okay. That's all I ask. Yeah, but I would like to see, let's get one gold medal, one more gold medal. I mean, we had the chance in 2010, if you recall, but Canada won in overtime as well at that one too, and that ugh, was a heartbreaker. You can say that again. Well, you were there that day. You were there with a friend of ours, and we were watching the game together. In case you forgot. No. So remember, guys, we actually know each other. All right. Yes. All right. So and now, of course, regular season hockey is now back in session. Uh, I don't know about you, but I'm on Ovechkin watch here. You know, he's closing in. He's 16 goals away. I think 16 goals, 16 or 17 goals, or whatever. And like I said last week, I didn't think he was getting much of a chance, being that he was, out for like 6 weeks of the season with his injury. So I thought I was going to send him back this year, but he has really come on strong since his return. And it's almost March, and with about 25, 26 games to go, I think he's well within reach of surpassing Gretzky, which I didn't think we ever see. But he's pouring on strong. Of course, Pittsburgh, I think is I rather Washington. Is coming on strong here, so I think he has a good chance. There he is, 879. He is now 15 away from breaking the record. He just scored another goal right now, so he's 15 away. He's been striking in. I think before the end of March, uh, he might be able to do it. I think between now and the next 30 days, he's going to have that record. I think he's going to. They're going to wait till the last game of the season. I think he's going to do it beforehand at the pace he's going. Or do you think I'm crazy? Well, most of you do anyway, but that's the point. Steve, being that you're the Capitals fan right here, you gotta give it to Ovechkin for coming on strong after his return and is looking to surpass Gretzky before the year is out. You got the game on too. Okay, that's right. We're all us hockey fans or sports fans in general. We up another goal score for the Capitals. As we're now just a minute. Uh, yeah, it wasn't Ovechkin, but still another score for Washington. Just let me see if I can get just let me see if I can get the name on it. Okay, for yeah, Fernandez. Is that what his name is? Number 42, Steve. Was number 42. Matt Martin Berwavian. Berwavian. I haven't forgotten him. Sure. Sorry. I know I can't forget it. Yeah. Diane's more of a Devils fan. Diane's more of a Devils fan. I'm the Rangers fan of the group. Nice try. I'll give you half credit, Steve. I'll give you half credit. Fair enough, right? Right. All right. Which one? Which one? Yes, yes, I know. Oh, you mean no, well, no, actually, no, I think I know what game you mentioned, but I think it was game 4 of the first round against, Buffalo. That was yeah, and that was and Steve, that wasn't even a record. No, not even a record. Oh, yeah. Oh, that game. Right, yeah. 4 overtimes. Yes. Speaking of, uh speaking of area hockey in our area, the Islanders, made a move as they placed defenseman Dennis, uh, Chowalski on waivers on Thursday. The Islanders are coming on the break, with one spot open up on the roster, but they might need 2 as they anticipate the return of Scott Mayfield from a lower body injury and Ryan Pollock on injury reserve from a lower body injury. Ooh boy. Both participated in their third straight practice on Thursday. I have the Islanders game against Dallas tomorrow. Chowalski has 3 goals and 7 assists in 32 games this season. Selected 20th overall by the Red Wings in 2016, he was picked up by the Kraken from the Red Wings in the 2021 expansion draft. And by the way, Detroit lost to Minnesota in overtime. He has 13 goals and 27 assists with 147 blocks and 48 hits in 150 games for the Red Wings, Capitals, Kraken, and Islanders. But as it stands right now, the Islanders are going nowhere fast, as I don't think they're going to make the postseason. The Rangers might make it. They're not far out from the wild card spot. It's very tight getting into that final wild card spot. And hello, Alan. Alan. All right. By the way, great show last night. By the way, yeah. So only only certain things. We can't mention anything on the air, but I'll explain later. Die off air. Okay. So, Alan, did you have any thoughts on the hockey tournament that just happened and the Islanders putting their defensemen on waivers? Yeah. Yes. Because the Islanders, they were tied with the Rangers for the bottom of the conference standings a while back, and they're still struggling. So I don't think any, regardless of any moves they make, I don't think it's going to help them. And the trade deadline is coming up in about where are we now? February 22nd. I think 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the trade deadline. So everybody's going to be making their moves, within the next week or so. But doesn't really look that good for the Islanders right now. Sorry to say, folks. Yeah. And one more NHL note here. I think you're gonna like this. The NHL is looking for the Big Easy to become the next expansion team. That's right, good old New Orleans. Kevin Weeks of ESPN reported on Wednesday that he was told by League Deputy Commissioner Bill O'Daly had a meeting at the league office in New York with a group interested in placing a team in New Orleans. I'd like to see that myself. Well, why not? They got a basketball team, um, they have the Saints. They don't have a baseball team though, except maybe like the minor leagues. Wonder why. Currently, there are 32 teams in the NHL after recent expansions into Vegas and Seattle. So it's possible that the Big Easy itself could enter the league as the 33rd team, though it's not known. Let's just say details are sketchy at this point, as they don't know a timeline of adding another expansion team that would look like. There are several other cities that could also have pro hockey teams, such as Phoenix, who is now Utah. Back to Atlanta. Oh yeah, why try a third time? You bombed out twice already. Come on. Kansas City. Ah, Kansas City. Huh. I wonder where they went. Oh yeah, Colorado and then here. Remember that? Remember that, boys and girls? Yes. Uh, mhm. Houston. Houston had a team in the A. Houston had a team in the WHA. I don't think they ever had a team in the NHL, but I think they do remember they did have in the WHA because Gordie Howe used to play there, and several other cities, of course, in Canada. New Orleans has never had an NHL team. However, they had a team in the East Coast League from 1997 to 2022 as they were the minor league counterpart of the San Jose Sharks. Now they don't have a squad. I kind of like the idea. Hockey in New Orleans. Okay, it's not really no, there's a big ice area, but they get near Los Angeles or Miami. But they still have successful teams. I think hockey could work there in the Big Easy. What do you make of that? Do you think it's a good fit? Anybody can answer here. Anybody. Cajun cooking, and the Aints, Saints, and Mardi Gras. Yeah, the only thing is we don't know when that's going to take place. I don't think it's going to happen within the next 2 to 3 years. So don't rush out to buy tickets just yet, folks. But I think it's going to be a great addition to hockey. Of course, I think they need one more to balance out to make it an even number. You can't play with an odd number. And well, of course, Phoenix. Phoenix is now Utah, which doesn't really have an official name yet. You know, Utah is just well, the Utah Hockey Club, which needs a better name. But I kind of like the idea with New Orleans going in, getting a hockey team. Hello, James. Nice to hear you again. That's NBA, yes. Hello, James. Nice to hear you again. Welcome back. So we were just discussing. Well, I know you're in Texas, and that's not close to New Orleans. But what do you make of them maybe getting a hockey team in the coming few years? It's possible. I mean, nothing's definite, but the NHL was discussing it over the past week. Golden Knights, yeah, yeah. Some areas it's worked, like in Vegas, Seattle, LA, but Alex, but yet it is floundered in some areas, like say like Atlanta and something, and they failed twice. And the Jets had moved back to Winnipeg and whatnot. So in some areas, it's working better than others. So you think it can work in New Orleans? And Alex, what do you make of that? Yeah, they don't have a team name yet, though. But they're only in discussion of making them an expansion team in a couple of years in New Orleans. Right. Yeah, yeah. NHL. It's a possibility. Yeah. How about this? How about this? The New Orleans Mardi Gras. No, no, I guess not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's well. We'll think of a name later. Yeah. Then again, yeah. Then again, wait. Yeah. Then why didn't it work in Atlanta? Well, let's see. New Orleans Jazz could work out, but then again, Utah has the Jazz for basketball. But there is no rule saying you can't have the same name in two different sports. So maybe New Orleans Jazz could work. Just an idea. Everybody's thinking, Louis, that belongs to the Utah Jazz. That's a different sport, people. So it's not illegal. It's not very creative when you have one else, but you get the point. Well, we're still a few years away from that. So as we move along in the coming years, we'll let you know more. All right. Switching to the NBA. By the way, did anybody see that the atrocity of the All Star Weekend at all? Oh boy, what a disaster! What a disaster! I mean, first of all, I mean, it doesn't even feel like it didn't even feel like an NBA game, this year with this format, especially the final game. Right. Yeah, it was. That's what I was gonna say. What do you think they should do? Yeah. Well, the thing is this, Alex, is that it's like nobody really pays attention, and the players don't even care. If you don't care, what are you doing there anyway? I mean, the fans were like, bored out of their gourd, pretty much. And it was like, watching like a high school basketball game, or as somebody to put it, it was watching the Olympic team playing against the under 19 junior league, which doesn't make it really that competitive. So the whole thing was like, just like a well, I hate to use it as an oxymoron term, but a comic tragedy. Yeah, and they took way too many breaks too. They took way too many breaks, in between the game itself. It was a mishmash. Yeah, no, the one of the yeah. I hope when the anime moves to Amazon next year, they don't have these many problems. Thankfully, see a snail faster than that, Steve. I kinda like that better, but the NBA was complaining that, there was no defense and whatnot, and the high scores were just absolutely ridiculous. I kinda like that better the way. The system was not broken, okay? The NBA system, the All-Star game was not broken, but you had to tamper with it, and now it's like, "Oh, the All-Star game is weekend, big deal." You ruined it. You ruined it with these cheap ways to make it better, which you didn't. So, what can we do to fix this? What can we do to fix this? What about what the NHL just did with the Nations 4? What do you think about that idea? Yeah, I mean, it's a global game. Sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know because I think with the team that has a better record, should get. I mean, home advantage. I mean, because that's not fair. Because you really have to earn it all through the season to get it, and you can't just decide just by one All Star game. That was a problem with it with baseball. I don't like that. Oh well, we have home advantage. I mean, we didn't have a great record throughout the regular season, but we still won because of the All Star game. No, that's not fair. It should go to the most deserving team in the final to get the home field advantage, not just decided by an All Star game. I don't like. Yeah. Of Well, wait, Steve, you said it was a ripoff. A ripoff of what? All right. Yes. Yes, I do. James, I want to get your thoughts before I move on. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you mean Victor, right? Mm. Yes. Mhm. All right. So to go on with the All-Star game, um, Shai Alexander, SAG, scored 12 points in 5-on-5 shooting. That led Team Charles Barkley victory over Team Kenny in a semifinal game. Alexander drove a dunk for the final ending points as Team Chuck was the first to reach 40 points. See, that's another thing. You gotta make it like you make it like an exhibition, and that's how it works. Ugh, yuck. Um, yeah. Team Chuck was coached by former Sixers and Suns player Charles Barkley and advanced the championship game. In the other semifinal game, Jack faced against Team Candace. That's Candace Parker, WNBA superstar. Victor Wembanyama, who's now out for the year, and Kat, Karl-Anthony Towns, each scored 6 points for Team Chuck, and shot 70% from the field and was 5 for 8 from 3-point range. Team Chuck also led rebounds 14-3. Darius Garland and Evan Mobley each scored 6 points for Team Kenny, a name for, of course, former NBA player Kenny Smith, now a TNT commentator. Team Kenny shot 46.4% from the field and was 6 for 15 from 3-point range. Anthony Edwards did not play for Team Kenny due to groin soreness. Yowza. Team Chuck took control by scoring 10 straight points and turned a 1 point deficit into a 9 point lead of 36-27. Pascal Siakam began the surge with a layup, and Trae Young, the next NBA superstar, followed up with two in a row to give Team Chuck a 32-27 advantage. And Wemby added consecutive dunks to take a 9 point lead. SAG scored the final 5 points for Team Chuck. A 3 point trade for a 39-29 lead before the game ending dunk. The score was tied at 9 before Donovan Mitchell and Towns drained 3 pointers for an 8-3 run over Team Chuck. Towns hit a straightaway 3 point shot from 37 feet to give Team Chuck a 17-12 advantage. Oof. Wow. Team Kenny scored the next 5 points on a 3 pointer by Jalen Bruson and a basket by Jaren Jackson Jr. to start an 11-2 run. Then Team Kenny, up, we got another goal here. Capitals score another one. Okay, we got a great game here, folks. I mean, to think uh, Capitals and Penguins. Yeah, Team Kenny scored another 5. Team Kenny made 3 consecutive pointers by Cade Cunningham and Garon for a 23-19 lead. Then dunked by Jalen Williams gave Team Kenny a 1 point lead until Team Chuck went on a 10-0 run. And that's going to be, yeah. Did you get a score on that, Steve? Okay. Well, it wasn't Ovechkin, but still. Okay, hang on, folks. I just might get myself another caller, so just hang tight. Yeah. But I think the best thing in the All-Star game, I think the best thing of All-Star weekend was the contest between a fan out of the stands. I think you know what I'm talking about, right, Steve? Well, I'll explain later, but still, yeah, yes. Andrew McClung, Andrew, yes, yeah. Well, they had the game and they even had MVP as the game was played. After taking on Team Candace, Rising Stars 42-35 in the semifinals, Shaq went on to beat Team Chuck 41-25. Thanks to a 12-point performance by Wizards guard Stephen Curry, uh, won the Kobe Bryant MVP. By the way, Curry and a person from the crowd participating in a contest, and the idea was that this person had to shoot a 3 pointer before, yeah, excuse me, before Curry was able to make 3 3 pointers by himself, and Curry scored two baskets from 3 pointer, but the kid was like an 18-year old. He got his 3 pointer at the last second and won the contest and walks away with a check for $100,000. How do you like that? All he had was make one shot, but Curry had to work for it. How do you like that? So anyway, yeah. Thanks to a 12-point performance by Kobe won the MVP. Curry was 4 for 8 shooting in the tournament's final game, counting coming from all 3 point range and 4 rebounds. This was Curry's second MVP award, his first in 2022, after scoring 50 points for Team LeBron in a 163-160 shootout, which should have stayed that same way because I don't like this new format at all. I say go back to East West or do like a four-team nation's four-team tournament of whatnot because this format was absolutely ridiculous. And if there's any indication by ratings, that's another reason. Ugh, just right. Exactly. Yeah. Don't tamper with success, people. Yes, so would I. Hello, Valeria. Okay, you're on. Mm. Okay, we're discussing NBA. Did you happen to catch the All-Star game last weekend? You're lucky. Yeah, out for the rest of the year. Oh boy. I mean, he has a good player, but he's still not the superstar I think everybody thinks he is, to be honest. And San Antonio isn't exactly you know burning rubber up in the standings. But this is gonna be another blow to the team and to him. So here's what happened: Spurs guard Victor Wembanyama should miss the rest of the season with a deep vein. We got another one. I saw it, Steve. Okay, with a deep bonus injury in his right shoulder. Number 6, he did it again. I know. No, but they need no, but relax. No, it isn't. No, right. Yeah. Second goal. Another one. Steve Ovechkin got it. The goal. Ovechkin got another goal. Yeah. Yes, yes, he did. Yeah, it's in his right shoulder. Ovechkin, another one. Now he's 14 away. One at a time, guys. One at a time. Hold on. So anyway, here's the diagnosis. The thrombonius occurs when blood vessels turn to a clump of vessels and creating a blood clot. Ooh. ESPN reported that the Spurs believe this is an isolated issue. Let's hope it is. I mean, you don't mess around with blood clots because that has ended some players' careers, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not yeah, I'm sure. But, it's not an injury to take very lightly here. So, he has to be careful. So, yeah, your career might be gone too. Yeah, your career might be gone too, so you gotta watch that. They probably will. Blood thinners, blood thinners. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and just, starting out really, he's only his 2nd year, and you hate to see it happen to such a player, who's trying to get the team. Because last year the Spurs were awful. I mean, they were like the 2nd worst team in the league, only Detroit was worse. They were, like, up and coming, trying to make, something happen in the Western Conference. Now this sets it back a bit, and this puts a dagger on Wemby for the rest of the season. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yes, the early detection is key. Yeah, but Victor, like, carries him, and, without him, I don't know how it's gonna, work for the rest of the year. He was carrying this team, to try and make the playoffs. Now, I think this is, like, a big step back. Of course, it's wrong, but yeah, yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping for the better, but yeah, she does. All right, so we'll move on to football. We'll move on to football now. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this last week, but what did you make of the whole game in general? Like, the pregame, the game itself, and the commercials. I thought the commercials were boring as anything. I mean, nothing really struck me there. Thank you. The game itself did not go the way I expected, even though I expected the Eagles to win, but I didn't expect it to be one-sided. And I thought the pregame was actually better. I thought the pregame was better than the game and the commercial itself. Yeah. Valeria, you're breaking up a bit. Okay. I think a lot of us were. Okay, we got another one from the DC area. Dana, is that you? Thank you, Dana. Hey, Greg. We'll get to the tennis in a little while. But overall, I mean, the game did not go as I thought it was going to be planned because I thought it was going to be much closer. The Capitals are just ripping them apart now, and it was. I did expect the Eagles to win, but not by a 6-1 margin. If you get my point, we're recapping what you thought of the Super Bowl. Pre-game commercials and the game itself. For the most part, it was. I mean, for worst part, it was like the third worst Super Bowl I think in history. Well, it's one of my top 5 worst. So did I. Yeah. I mean, whatever happened, the days like with the Bud Bowl or the Space Jam spinoff or maybe the Clydesdales or even when or even no wait, hold on, I got one more. Um, the convenience store guy and all the cans get knocked off. You don't remember that? The guys I mean, it was grabbing a Pepsi can, all the Coke, all the Coke cans, just crashed. You don't? Don't Well, do you remember the song was playing do you remember the song was playing in the background of the commercial? Do you remember what it was? Hey, good looking, Hank Williams. There you go. Well, you know what? That reminds me of something though, that with the cans falling out. Now, I'm gonna age myself a little bit here, but Diane knows what I'm talking about. There was an old Sesame Street cartoon where the guy is putting up the cans and going up to 12, and somebody keeps knocking it over. He has to do it all over again. It's like that was what it reminded me of. Oh boy, one, two, three. I show my age here, folks. Oh boy. So that was kind of reminiscent of that. Strange as it is, but it was. All right. Yeah. 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 Okay, we gotta move along. We're like halfway into the show. So, Steve, you have your UFC WWE report. I know. And everybody thought it was gonna be rusty after the break. What rust? Yeah. Yeah. All right. If you have nothing, Diane, your trivia. That's fine. Okay, one at a time though. Diana's first. But stand by, Greg. I think it was Jake LaMotta. Okay, he did. That's one for him. Three. Three. Well, this is a magic number. I think it was the second one. I say B. Just say A, B, or C, guys. That's all. Great. Okay, go ahead, Greg. Gatorade. Mhm. Sure. Yes. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, I gotta move on. Greg, you wanted to bring us something more on Sinner, you said, right? Yeah, Greg. Right. Yeah. All right, Greg, you want to bring us something more? Yeah. Yes, it is. I drink it myself. Greg, right. Greg, you also want to mention something on the tennis player Sinner again, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Neither do I. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. Yes. Correct. Yes. Right. Okay. Okay. Yes. Banned forever. Speaking of banned forever, I I wasn't I hate to interrupt you. I'm I'm going somewhere. All right. Now, I also posted her what happened to Isaiah Pachenko of the Chiefs this past week. They banned him for life for the gambling incident. Now, wait a minute. Banning for life for gambling, you see athletes doing much worse than that, robbery, attempted murder, speeding, like trying to break the sound barrier and whatnot, which could have killed someone, not mention yourself. And yet you're throwing him out for life for this gambling. Now, what he did himself, for banging the Chiefs would not. I mean, really, the punishment does not fit the crime here. If you want to suspend him for a year, fine, but ban him for life for just like for a gambling incident. Really, where does it fit the crime here? Where? Yes, they should have. Is it really? Right. I don't think it was. Yeah. Yes. See, that's my point, though. I mean, right. Okay, but my point is, Greg, I mean, you don't ban these players for life for doing drugs or anything. You put them on a substance program or like a rehab program, right? But you're not taking away from the game. But for a gambling thing, you're gonna take away a player for life? Come on. Okay, all right, go ahead, Valeria. No, what? 6 times. He doesn't even get that sack in a season, and he did all in 1 game. My goodness. Yeah, yeah. What do you make of that? Talk about a bad day at the office. Yeah, yeah. Alright. Well, actually, now I wanna switch over to baseball. Okay, last week we covered the American League, for how they go for the season, so now we're gonna do the National League. So, if you'll bear with me, we'll get started right now. Alright, in the National League East, we got the Braves, the Marlins, the Mets, sorry, Phillies, and the sorry, it's a little joke, and the Nationals. Alright, Steve, who do you like in the National League East? We're going by divisions here. Yeah, I know. Alright, Diane, James, Valeria. I forgot you're from New York. Dana, Greg. Fairly, fairly good, but that remains to be seen. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of Agassi's boy, right? Yeah. All right, but hurry. Mhm. Yeah, right. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna if Acuna can stay in this game and do well the coming season, I think I'm gonna give it to the Braves. All right, so over the Central, we got the Cubs, the Reds, the Brewers, the Pirates, and the Cardinals. Steve, I'll start that with you. One guess, Steve. That's all I ask. One guess. I think it's the Cardinals. I think you said you didn't know. My fault. Diane. Wow, Cardinals. Okay. All right. James. Valeria. Okay. Dana. No, we're doing National League Central right now. We did the American League last week. All right, we're doing National League Central. National League Central. I see. I broke up this week because I didn't want to take too much time going over it because we would run out of time. Do other stuff. So I'll say it again: the Cubs, the Reds, the Brewers, the Pirates, the Cardinals. All right. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Cubs too. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike. Mike, where'd he go? All right. James. What do you like in the AL in the NL Central? All right. Valeria. All right. Alex. Okay. Alex. And last but not least, we have the NL West. The D-backs, the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants. Steve? All right. Diane, would you repeat that? All right. Um, James, Valeria, Dana, Alex. Okay, unanimous it is. Yeah, I'll make it unanimous. Dodgers. And who was the only team that could beat the Dodgers, people? The Dodgers themselves. Yeah, the Dodgers themselves. Yeah, but they look yeah, but it looked like to run away with the division this year, Alex. I mean, really, they're just too strong. They're not all right. Yeah, I know, I know. Yes. Yeah. Hey, I got a spring training note for you, though. By the way, I just found this. Juan Soto, I think, seems to be having a good fit with the Mets so far. As he hit his first home run with the Mets in spring training and beat the Houston Astros 6-2 today. So good start for Soto with his new team. Unfortunately, it's on the wrong side of New York, but it's a home run nonetheless. Ah, great. Yuck. So as you all know, Sato signed a record $765 gazillion contract, which should last until 2200. Uh, moving across from the Yankees to the Mets, he hit his second in the order. He was second in the order on Saturday from Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso, Mike's boy, and drilled a monster home run of 426 feet, 2-1 pitch from left-hander Colton Gordon. The following inning, Sato drove in another run with a ground ball, and those were only play appearances. And in spring training, even though it's only the first or second game, he raised his spring training average to 3.304 with 14 home runs in 87 spring training games. So not bad. So this could be the Mets' golden boy here. It looks so far. Yeah, and they found Nemo. No. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Yeah. Of course. I never go by, what happens in spring training with the regular seasons. I never go by that. But if this might have, yeah, but I never go by spring training results though. March 20. Well, the American opener is March 27th, but the Dodgers and Cubs are gonna start playing in Japan on March 20th. So depending what you go by. Yeah. March 27th, the day after my 55th birthday. Would you say that again, Doc? No, this year. No, 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 Doc. That's only spring training. That's only spring training, Doc. Doc, it's only spring training now. We're talking regular season. We're talking regular season only now. Yes, Valeria. Yes. Well, yeah, they're investigating for sure. 7 women came forward. Uh, they're gonna investigate 'em. I think it'll take it from there 'cause, that's gonna I think determine what they're gonna do with them. But 7 women came forward. But you gotta ask yourself, all these women coming forward, are they telling the truth or are they just looking are they just looking to make money off of them? Because some of these, like, may not be legit. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. Can't curse here. Yes. Well, that's the way I look at it, 'cause I think there's someone that's trying to make money off them. That's the way I look at it. Like what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Very weird. Yes. Yeah. Alright. I gotta move on, guys. I have to move on. Yeah. Yes. Steve, we can't die here. Okay, I gotta move on. Okay, I gotta move on. Yes. Alright, guys, I gotta move on. I gotta move on. So, anyway, I was switching to auto racing now because the Indy 500 Daytona 500 was last week, and pretty good race despite the fact of rain delay, but then again, rain in Florida. What else is new, right? Right. So, William Byron raced his way to a second straight Indy Daytona 500 victory in a rain-delayed overtime finish. The day began with Captain America actor Anthony Mackie in attendance and ended with high drama as a repeat champion that included a stack filled of seven-time race car driver Jimmy Johnson, no, not that Jimmy Johnson, and 24 NASCAR champion Joey Logano. I like Logano. Byron took advantage of several late cautions to get in front and became the first repeat champion since Denny Hamlin in the 2019-2020 season. Tyler Reddick was second, Johnson was third. During the race, Kyle Larson was one of the drivers involved in a late crash that brought a third red flag. Ooh, that's not good. Three red flags. His Chevrolet was hit in the back of the crash that saw Ryan Pierce go airborne. Ooh, way to ruin a good Chevrolet. Ugh. Yeah, hate to see a good Chevy go to waste. Oof. Yeah, luckily though that nobody was seriously injured in the crash, but that seven car pilot. But you're gonna have that, of course. When you got 20, 25 racers barreling at 80 miles an hour, and whatnot. So it's gonna happen, and crashing in the wall. But I'm just glad that nobody was seriously injured in that because that has happened in some races, especially these big races. So thankfully, everybody is came unscathed. Oof, just ugly though. Valeria, I got some news of the Pirates for you. Glad you joined in. The Pirates have signed outfielder Tommy Pham to a 1-year deal. Last season, he had 9 home runs with 39 RBIs and 49 runs, batting 248 with 116 games. He has played for the White Sox, Cardinals, and Royals. So I think you got to be happy that you're gonna get Pham to play for the Pirates. Trouble is, though, last year the Pirates were up to a good start when you have Paul Skeens in his first year, and then all of a sudden they just crashed out. By mid-May or like June, they were already out of contention. How do you go from such a hot start to just crash and burn in less than 2 months? Yeah, I'll say. I mean, yeah. I mean, they haven't had a good. They really haven't had a good season since I think 1992 when he had Barry Bonds. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mike. There you are. Yeah. So, what do you make of your message here? And Sato got a home run to start spring training. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Hey, Alex, are you still there? I guess he disappeared. Houston Astros, the, ch- the former cheaters. Sorry. I just had. Sorry, I couldn't resist, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, more baseball news here. The Guardians, formerly known as the Indians, added right-hander Jacob Junis on Sunday to a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. Junis was 4-0 with a 2.69 ERA, made 24 appearances with 6 starts last season with the Brewers and Reds. He missed time with a shoulder injury and was in a freak accident after being hit with a fly ball during batting practice. Oof. That is, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, but it was a freak accident. It was a freak accident, though, but still, it had to happen just in batting practice. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is ugly. Yeah. So in 8 seasons for he's with the Royals, Giants, Brewers, and Reds. He's 42 and 45 with a 4.48 ERA, with 192 appearances with 116 starts. So probably not a great move. I mean, he does have a losing record, and his ERA is, well, kind of like I say borderline. He's got to lower the ERA. get better pitching. A 4.48, it's not terrible, but it's far from great. Let's put it that way. Oh, he was injured, but he made okay. He was hitting batting practice, but he's gonna be okay. Yeah. And Steve, I got some news for you. Yeah. All right. Steve, I got news for you concerning the Nationals. Yeah, they signed shortstop former All-Star shortstop Paul DeJong on a 1-year deal. Um, he can earn up to 600,000 bonus performances. He split last year with the White Sox and Royals, and I'm sure he was glad to leave that area because, of course, we know how the White Sox did last year. Ugh. He batted 227 and 24 home runs with 56 RBIs in 139 games. And for the White Sox, that was probably one of the few bright spots when he had 18 home runs. I mean, because basically the White Sox were just trash last year. Oof. And he hit 30 home runs last year, which was the most he did. Sorry, it was the most total home runs he had a season since he had 30 in 2019, and he had 70 RBIs and made the All Star team last season. He finished up as National League Rookie of the Year in 2017. To make room, the Nationals placed right-hander Joshua Gray on the 68 injured list to open up a roster spot. Gray underwent Tommy John surgery in July. Oh, so good move, Steve, for this or not? And with your boy Gray on the injured list, what is that? What do you make of for that one, though? Yeah, the ERA though, ERA I think is a little troublesome though. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. Right. Yes. And speaking of injuries, yeah. Speaking of injuries, we got another one on the list. Giancarlo Stanton, he's battling another injury. What else is doing? I'm surprised a guy like that who's been around for so long just can't stay healthy, and yet he's still in the league. Go figure. So Stanton is dealing with chronic tendonitis in both elbows. Ugh. And his track to be for opening day. Put this way, I don't think so. And neither is Aaron Boone. So the MVP of this year of last year's World Series was barred by his elbows for much of the season, despite that Stanton still had 27 home runs and drove in 72 RBIs in 114 games last season. But this guy is constantly injured, and if he gets injured and we're going to the heart of the season, that's going to be kind of tough on us because we need his hitting, uh, you know, to power our opponents. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Boone said, Stanton will make a season debut. I'm not going to put a timeline on it. I don't think you should. We're just going to be smart about it. Position players have reported earlier this week. The Yankees have their full squad first workout. The Yankees open up the season at home on March 27th against the Brewers. March 27th. That's one day before my 55th birthday. Oops. Sorry. Not for nothing, but Boone knew that Stan's elbow would continue to bother him through the winter, so the announcement did not come as a surprise. And knowing his injury history, it didn't surprise me either. I mean, Stan injuries goes together. And to think that in 20 before he came to the Yankees, he set the high in the National League that season with 59 home runs. Even though he's accident prone, he can still hit. Oh, he was with Florida. He was with the Marlins before he came with the Yankees died. No, the Yankees owed him too much money, and the Marlins were a dumpster fire. I mean, Stanton did all the work. The rest of the team was just like, yeah, miserable. So that was a smart move. So the Yankees like a healthy Stanton this season, and so would I, to make up for the loss of production from Juan Soto, who is now going to the crosstown rival Mets, which I'm sure Mike is happy about, as he was a signed for free agent all season. No offense, Mike. Yes. Stanton hit 7 home runs and 16 RBIs in the postseason as they reached for the World Series for the first time since 2009. They haven't been back since then until this year. But lost the Dodgers in 5 games. Stanton did hit 2 home runs in the Fall Classic to follow up his 4 home run performance against the Guardians in the ALCS. Now in his 16th season in the majors, the first one with the Marlins, first 8 with the Marlins, before being traded to the Yankees back in 2018. Stanton has 429 home runs, 1,023 RBIs, with a batting average of 257 in 1,649 games. Quite a career here we got. He's a 5-time All-Star and a 2017 NL MVP when he hit the 59 home runs that season with 132 RBIs. See right there, 59 home runs. Nobody else came close that season, despite the fact that the Marlins weren't even that good. What were they not? In addition, center fielder Trent Grisham is recovering from a left hamstring pull. He should be ready for opening day. Last season, he batted a woeful 190 with 9 home runs and 31 RBIs in 76 games. Not good. But Stan worries me, with his injuries, and now that he's getting up there in baseball years, he's got to stay healthy as much as he could, or his season's going to be over. And I think, with it, if he lacks production, I think it's going to hurt us more than help us. I mean, we can't rely on just judge by ourselves. I think he will die because he's getting up there now, and Judge cannot carry this team by himself. He really can't. No, we need more than we need more than just yeah. Mhm. Yes. No, you can't. That's the problem. Right. Of course. Oh yeah. Yeah. No question. Yeah. Exactly. Right. That's it. That's just what I was gonna say. Because 38, in baseball years is still relatively young, but in baseball, no, no. All right, so moving on. I think you're right. So moving on to more NBA, Bulls for Patrick Williams received a plasma-rich injection to treat tendonitis in his right knee and will be rehabilitated in 2 weeks. His last game was on February 12th. He had 3 points and 1 rebound in 18 minutes with a win over the Pistons. Williams is averaging 9.1 points and 4.0 rebounds in 45 games with 35 starts. This season, he's averaging 9.6 points per game with 4.1 rebounds. Well, that's actually his career. 258 career games with 210 starts as the Bulls selected him fourth in the shortened season of 2020. We all know how that went. Yeah. Ugh. Moving on. Okay. Like I said, Team USA, well, Canada. Oh boy, tough game. All right. Well, we got a milestone in the NBA as Chris Paul records his 2,685 steal of his career and is climbing up the all-time steals list. CP3 surpasses Mavericks coach and former Mavericks player Jason Kidd for second on the all-time list. Not bad. He still has a long way to go to catch up to John Stockton, who has 3,265 steals. But at this stage of his career, I don't think so. I think Stockton's record is going to stay intact, for the next 50 years or so. And to think he never won a title either. So the historic steal came on a pass to Bradley Beal by Devin Booker. Paul quickly got the ball out of Beal's hands, passed the ball back to the court to Stephon Castle. It was Paul's 71st steal of the season, which is more than double what he had last season when he was still with the Warriors. His high for steals count came with in the 27-2008 season with 217, and the year before that, not bad. Year after that, 216, not bad. So the next active player on the list is LeBron with 2,318 steals. I think he'll surpass, LeBron, but Stockton, nobody's gonna beat Stockton. You know, John Stockton, he played for the Utah Jazz. Yeah. What a shame he never won. What a shame though he never won a title. That's the only thing. Even the great ones. Even the great ones. Okay, so shall we do our idiots of the week here? Yep. All right, idiot number one. Bobby Portis has been suspended 25 games for the NBA. ESPN reported back on Thursday. Portis, violated the anti-drug policy. His agent Mark Burlstein released a statement to ESPN saying that his client accidentally mixed up pain medication. Oh, great. Bobby took a pain medication, I think it was a medication called Toradol. Burlstein's statement: Toradol is an approved medication that has been used before, and the team's players have used it to treat inflammation and pain. The other medication called Tramadol, it's not the same. It's not the same here. Is not approved and was originally put on the banned substance list. And unfortunately, that's the one he wound up taking. So now he's been suspended by that. But it wasn't his fault. I mean, it was just a complete mix-up. So we can't really blame him for that. So I think maybe the punishment's I think a little bit harsh. So Portis this season is averaging 13.7 points per game with 8.3 rebounds and 25.2 minutes for the Yucks, Bucks. Right. Yes. Well, it was yes. Right. Yes. Right. Or how do we live? Well, those labels are always easy to read, Dana. They can be very confusing. Yeah. 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 Right. They know. Right. They know. All right. So we'll move on. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we had the first one with Pachenko. That was the first one. So this actually, I think, was number two. Yeah. I'll get to that. If we have one. Um. Well, another one was LA Lakers star Austin Reeves was ejected Wednesday night against the Hornets. The referees did not call a foul on on Yusuf Newkirk when he got away with Reeves charging the basket. Reeves showed his frustration right away and was sent to referee Rodney Mott to yell and complain about the no call. Okay. He quickly received a technical foul for the exchange, but Reeves did not stop there. He continued to harp on the situation as he walked to the sidelines, with this, which led to a second technical foul, and two technical fouls means you are out. So the young star continued to show his disgust as he walked to the locker room, throwing his headband into the stands, and then left the game. Now, if that's not an emotional idiot, I don't know what is. So the sequence of events will surely cause an uproar in the NBA community, as it started with a questionable no call and ended with a controversial ejection. He finished the night with 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks, and 2 calls of being an idiot. 7-2 Capitals. I don't believe. Well, still, it wasn't right. Yeah, that too. Um, I know we don't do soccer that very much, but I have an interesting story here concerning probably the best soccer player on earth since Pele. Of course, I'm about Lionel Messi. Yes, Messi was in Kansas City competing in a one of the in soccer tournaments, the CONCACAF series, by with sport against Sporting KC, and let's just say it was not used to. He was playing in Miami. According to Apple Weather, the temperatures felt like -9 at 9:30 Eastern Time. Yet both teams were out on a pitch, and local fans eager to see the star player, do his thing in the stands. Videos of Messi before and during the match showed how cold he is, and his teammates really were as well, as the severity of conditions in the area at that moment. In fact, it is probably the coldest match in MLS history, even though it was not a regular season game. The game was played Tuesday instead of Monday because it was postponed due to extreme weather conditions. Despite the freezing conditions, Miami ended up winning the game 1-0 anyway on a goal by Messi. So how do you like that? Even though he's not used to it and was probably freezing to death, he still won anyway and came through. Actually, the regular season began today, and my Red Bulls play later on. I hope I can get the game on the internet. The thing is this though, the MLS I think has the shortest offseason out of anybody in the five major sports. I said five, not four, because their championship game was played just I think 2 weeks prior to Christmas, and now they're already back doing regular season when half the country is still in sub-zero temperatures. I remember when it used to start back in April, back in the early years. Yeah. Remember, guys, now this is a milestone year because this is MLS 30th anniversary season in the league. Yeah, it is 30 years. It's their 30th season. Am I that old? Wow. Yeah, I remember they first came out. Washington versus LA Galaxy. I can't believe it's been around that long, and I can't believe I'm that old. Wow. Yeah. Go figure. Go figure. Yeah. Please do, Larry. We can always use more input. Remember, Saturdays 4 to 6, Larry. Remember it. Okay, remember, same time each week. Okay. Okay, same time each week. Thank you. Okay. All right. So another former. Okay. Good night. Okay. So another former player was diagnosed with CTE after the death of a brain disorder linked to repeated head trauma in contact sports, and that's former Blackhawks Hall of Famer Bobby Hull. Some of you might remember him. Well, not while he was playing, but you might have heard of his name. Hull's widow Deborah and Dr. Ann McKee, director of the Boston University CTE Center, said he had stage 2 of 4 cancer when he passed away in 2023 at the age of 84. The two-time Hart Trophy winner and two-time and 12-time All-Star and third Hall of Famer and 17th player overall to test positive for the disorder. Yeah, 17th NHL player overall. Surprised it's not even more with the concussions they take. Mm. Seeing pain and heartache of his lifetime friend, Stan Minka, and his family, Bobby felt no other family member should have to go through this and to endure his life this and endured. Should have to endure. That's said by his wife in a statement. He insists on donating his brain, feeling that it was his duty to help advance research of the dreaded disease. I can argue with that at all. According to the statement, Bobby suffered from short-term memory loss, impaired judgment, and other neurological issues of CTE over the past 10 years. Over the past 10 years. Oof. Yeah. Hall was nicknamed the Golden Jet for his speed and blonde hair. He played in 1,063 games, had 610 goals and 560 assists with the Jets, Whalers, who are now the Hurricanes, and the Blackhawks, where he won a Stanley Cup title back in 1961. CTE, for those of you who don't know, can only be diagnosed through an exam of the brain after the death. That's right, after the death. You can't do it while he's alive. That's the scary part. No, it's like an autopsy, die. Like it's an autopsy. Yes. Several NFL players have been diagnosed as well with CTE, which I think is more common. All-time players like Junior Seau of the Chargers, Frank Gifford of the Giants. All the wasn't finished. Yeah, but look at some of these names that have been hit. I mean, Junior Seau was with the Chargers. Frank Gifford from the Giants back then. Ken Stabler with the Cowboys. Aaron Hernandez of the Patriots. They all got affected by CTE. You know, that's a scary statement. You know, these players as good as they were, but when they take a hit, you know, they do, and it's oof, you know, it really does a number on you. And, it is, and they take hard hits too. Yeah, yeah, and it could be a life. And yes, yes, I know. So before we move on, before I forget, okay, what was everybody's favorite moment and worst moment this past month? Steve, I'm going to start that with you. All right, play like trash. Right, Diane. Uh huh. James, you can have anything. All right, Dana, your best and worst. Eighth. Yes. All right, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and Alex. Mm-hmm. That's fair. Mine, of course, was the Super Bowl. That was the worst one because that was like I said, like the third worst Super Bowl on record. I got two of the best of the month, and you might be surprised with this. I'm going to say that the first best was when Canada, I mean, the U.S. actually beat Finland in round robin play because they just beat them up 6-1. Right, tremendous effort, but you couldn't go wrong with that. And number two, well, I heard a story about the former major league player Wade Boggs as he announced that he was cancer free, and that's a victory in itself. Whether you, yeah, I mean, you can always win or lose a game, but when you defeat cancer, that's an ultimate victory. Need I say more? Yes. For those of you who don't remember, Wade Boggs was played for the Yankees and that team that I don't want to mention, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they're from Boston. They're from Boston. The Red Sox. The Red Sox. If you're a Bugs Bunny fan, the Gas House Gorillas. Yeah, the Gas House Gorillas, a bunch of dirty players. I can be all by myself. Sorry, folks. You're showing my age again. All right, big shot. So you think of yourself by yourself? Well, you got yourself a game. Okay. All right. Moving on. The Connecticut Sun are holding on to this is WMA, folks. Marina Mayberry after she requested to be traded. Well, that didn't happen. The Sun shot down the request, prompting Mayberry's agent, Marcus Crenshaw, of the FAM agency to heavily criticize the Sun and the decision not to go out and make a trade. How interesting. In the current state of women's empowerment and support of the players, the Connecticut Sun threatened to force Mayberry to play for them after their trade to the Crest is mind-boggling. Crenshaw mentioned a statement down Tuesday at ESPN. Why would anyone try to force anyone? Wait, let me do this again. Why would anyone try to force anyone to play a team when they don't want to be there? That's preposterous. That's my Seinfeld, folks. It's counterproductive in a lot of ways, and everyone that we have spoken to says it's so confused about handling this whole situation. I'm confused myself. The coaches part of ways. No free agents return and trying all they can to force Marina to stay, even if she didn't want to be there. Team president Jennifer Rosati insists that the Sun is looking to rebuild around Mayberry, and also did not feel comfortable trading a player that cost so much to get. hmm Good things don't come cheap. The Sun sent Rachel Banham, Moria Jefferson, their 2025 first round pick, and a 2026 pick swap to the Chicago Sun last season to bring in Mayberry. Mayberry requested a trade while she was with Chicago in a deal with the Sun. She played 40 games last between the Sky and the Sun last season with 27 starts, and averaged 14.4 per game and 4.4 rebounds and 4.1 assists. The Sun are coming up a 20-12 season and reached the WNBA semifinals, but lost to the Minnesota Lynx, which was not actually a missing link at all. Oh, yeah. Get link missing. Get missing link. Get it? I could have said weakest link. Yeah, you want the weakest link. Goodbye. Mhm. Okay, we gotta speed up, guys, because we're running out of time. As this, I think, is the fastest sports show in history, the fastest sports show on record. It sure seems that way. Oh, it's okay. So we'll just do some recent history. 1970, Pete Hamilton wins the Daytona 500, three car lengths over Dave Pearson after passing him with 9 laps to go. Okay. Miracle on Ice. The U.S. beat the Soviet Union 4-3 like Placid and go on to win the gold medal. Well, do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do. Bonnie Blair, 1998, wins its world record 500 meters. Way to go, Bonnie. Yeah. 1998, the Winter Olympics closed in Nagano, Japan. Age 34. Not a lot of interesting things here. Alex Pacino wins the Rock Rodeo. Okay, that's interesting. U.S. women's hockey team high school medal for the first time in 20 years in 2018 with a 4-3 shootout victory over Canada in China. Scores tied 3-3 after overtime. Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots, charged with soliciting prostitution as part of human trafficking sting operation in Jupiter, Florida in 2019. Idiot. And Ronaldo has that was in 2019 though. And Cristiano Ronaldo made his 1,000th senior appearance by scoring in Juventus' 2-1 win over Serie A, Spain 720 with 725 goals, 836 club games, and 164 internationals. Okay. On that note, guys, we got a split results coming up. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Valeria, thank you for coming in. For those of you who weren't in, please come back next week, same time, same station. We'll do our calendar for March. We'll talk some UFL football as well as that season will start up, and we'll take a look at the trade deadline, and the NHL was also approaching. So, on that note, stay safe out there. Stay warm if you can, as it's still freezing out here in New Jersey. And on top of that, have a good week. So long, everybody.